So you couldn't get enough of us the first time, huh? Well, my name is Todd. I am half of the Adventures of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Obviously, I am Mr. Smith. And this is more or less a test of the live stream process. My wife and I hope to be doing a few more of these in the future and just answering questions about age gap relationships, relationships overseas, relationships online, what it's like to be who we are. Not that we're anything special or anything like that, but we're just another example of people in the U.S. and life in the world. So this is more, like I said, it's just more of a test than anything else. We're just kind of going on here and trying out a few things, lighting, background, all that kind of stuff. My wife is making lunch. Hun, what are you making? Mung bean. Mung bean. The other little voice you hear is our son. And this is kind of what happens when your wife has oral surgery, your son developed an ear infection, and you've sitting around taking care of them all the time with nothing much to do. So my wife calls me Santa Claus. We'll see. This isn't going to last, I'm sure. But, normally I don't have the luxury of being able to not shave and work. So I had some time off. So I thought, what the heck? So anyway, not really sure what we're going to talk about. I know that I get a lot of questions about the online stuff that you see through TikTok. I know there's a lot of really negative aspects going on about life and love between individuals from other countries, with people with age gaps and so on. And, I think the thing that you've got to keep in mind more than anything is that whatever you put into a relationship is kind of what you get out of it. So, if you're there for all the wrong reasons, or they're there for the wrong reasons, you got to be smart enough to recognize what's going on and just be aware of what's happening. We were going to start this vlog when she first came here. And obviously things happened. These relationships aren't easy. People always talk about, they ask me, what is it like, being married to a younger woman and so on. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter what the age difference is. All relationships have a challenge. And whatever those challenges are, it's always easier to work them together than to try to work them out in public. And in my opinion, this is a public forum. So if you're, advertising your relationship online, then, you kind of have to take the good with the bad. So we chose to make our relationship solid privately. And now we're kind of feeling like it's time that maybe if people want to be a part of it, fantastic. If not, hey, not a problem. It's a free country. It's a free world. If you want to know what we do, you want to ask questions, please feel free. We'll answer those that we feel are appropriate. And we'll take it from there. So we're just kind of hanging around. It's Friday morning, and that's actually Friday afternoon. Sorry, I'm not watching the clock. Wife is making a little bit of lunch. Son is terrorizing the other room, tearing it up. I'm sure he will make an appearance here in a little bit. He's feeling better, and he's just enjoying his time. But he's a great kid. So my wife and I have been together for 7 years now. We met in 2014 and online. We met in person 1 year later, 2015, almost a year to the date. And you hear me in the background. Sorry, it's okay. So I'm sure here in a few minutes, my wife is watching the live stream, so she's going to probably be shooting me suggestions or comments or questions. So we'll see. But, like I said, this is just a learning deal. This is just having fun. If you're online, please feel free to say something, say anything. Let me know I'm not alone here. I'm dying here by myself. This isn't a stand-up routine. This is just me chit-chatting. Hey, son. I was going to see if he will come over here and I can introduce you. But so as I was saying, we met almost a year to the date in 2015. When I first met her in 2014, I didn't really know if we were ever going to meet in person. It was more of a casual chat thing, just two people killing time. You can hear my son's cough, and getting to know each other. And then, as things do, as we continued to talk, it blossomed into a little bit more. I had no true intentions of having a relationship online. It was just more, as I said, I was raising my kids alone and working a lot, always taking care of them, and didn't have a lot of time for anything else. And so online was a safe way of getting to know people and chatting and being able to talk about things other than your kids and family. So, and unfortunately, when you go through divorce, and it's not always the nicest thing when you have friends, those friends fall under one of two categories, either her friends or his friends. Most of the friends were hers, and I didn't want to hear any more questions or comments about the end of the relationship. So, yeah, that's what I did. I kind of cut ties with all that and concentrate on raising the kids and working. So, but now we've been in this relationship for a while. My family supports it wholeheartedly. I think her family, they do as well. They welcome me as part of the family. Very different worlds that we come from, but not as different as you think. There's a lot of differences between the U.S. and the Philippines, and I've been over there many times. We had an apartment in Mandaue City for a bit, and it's interesting. If you ever get a chance to travel, obviously, I highly recommend it. I was never interested in traveling until I met her, and once I did, it's a bug that you can't shake once you get. So I think I'm seeing that we have two people here. Probably one of them is me, and the other one is my wife. And so please, somebody ask me a question. I'm dying here. But anyway, so hun, do you have anything you want to throw out there? Nope. Son and hun. It gets confusing. My wife is just having some mung and rice. And hey, yeah, one of the things, if you ever date a Filipino girl, you always got to have rice. You better have rice at all times, whether it be now or day old. So just a little heads up there. But hey, you know what? To each his own. So we're going to make this one fairly short. Like I said, it's more of a test just to see how the setup we have. What's wrong, buddy? You okay? You want to come, Dada? You want me to take him? No, it's all right. He can sit in my lap while I do it. No, come on. Hold on, we're having a discussion. Oh, he pooped. Okay. Well, he's going to go freshen up, and then he'll come back. So anyway, that's yeah, that's the joys of being a parent again at a little bit later age in life. But I will say this: wouldn't trade it for the world. I love my kids. I love all my kids. They're all their each little adventures in life, and this one is just another one that's just starting. So, but so first impressions of the Philippines. So I first traveled to the Philippines in 2015. Went there for, hadn't had a vacation in a very, 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 very long time. Been raising my kids alone, as I said, and met this girl online. And then I just had the opportunity to go. I'd never planned on really doing it. The relationship that we had online was great. It was more educational. I mean, look, we were good friends, and we were getting closer and closer, and I really wanted to meet her. She wanted to meet me. I wanted to get away from things here in Texas for a bit. Love my kids, and only went after I kind of had their blessing to go, because I didn't want them to be uncomfortable with me being gone for 10 days. I'd never spent more than really, other than them going to sleepovers, I never really stayed away from them. It was nice. It was a break that I much needed, but at the same time, it was also a adventure that changed my life. So First impression when I got off the plane in the Philippines, um, wasn't so much the heat. Being from Texas, that's not unusual. Um, Anytime you get at an airport, there's always an odd smell at every airport. It doesn't matter where in the world it is, because there's, generally they're fairly, the runways and some of those, if you've ever been to a small airport, the runways aren't that far away. And so there's always that smell of gas and stuff like that. So um, it's not the most pleasant environment, but once I got away from it, once I got away from the airport and kind of got off into the Philippines, it was a mix of just extreme beauty of the Philippines, and also I would have to say people were everywhere. It was something like I had never seen before. Uh, Being kind of a little bit of a nerd, I did a little research at the time and found that the Philippines, I'm from Texas, and the Philippines is half the size of the state of Texas. But the population at that time was four times the state of Texas. So half the size, but four times the population. And so there were just people everywhere. You really couldn't, there wasn't really any place you could go unless you went out into the province where you were away from people. Even when you're traveling down the roads in some of the back areas, provinces as they call them, there's still people always on the move. They walk everywhere. No wonder they're all in great shape. I mean, what we call exercise, they call a trip to the store. And I got a big kick out of that. The modes of transportation were like nothing I'd ever seen. It was a lot of fun. Besides the obvious reason as to why I was there, just the trip itself was it's a long flight. That's no lie. It's first leg of that is like 15, 16 hours. And then depending on your layover, your next flight, for me, it was Taipei, Taiwan to Manila, which I think was an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then there was a little bit of a layover there. And then we had an hour layover on the tarmac, and then another 2 hours to Cebu. And it was interesting. It's a lot of fun. But like I said, it's an adventure. It's a beautiful area. It's a different world. You have to really be open minded when you travel, especially if don't be a typical tourist if you travel anywhere in the world. Understand where you're going. Understand that you're in their world. The old saying, "When in Rome, do as the Romans." Well, you don't always have to do as the Romans, but don't act like an ugly American. Don't go in there and tell people how to do things and treat everybody like they're stupid. They're not. I would love to see most Americans get thrown into their world and see how long they survive. I think you'd be shocked at how short-lived you'd actually be. But so you want to hand him to me? Nope. Okay. So he's a little sleepy now. And anyway, so like I said, this was just more of a test than anything else. I'm going to watch the footage and criticize myself. Feel free to throw comments up. Feel free to ask questions. We're going to try to do this again. I don't know exactly when, but we'll try to put something out there as to when we do. And hopefully I won't be doing it alone. It'll just be me and my beautiful wife and our guapo son. So anyway, best of luck to you. Always be good. Be happy. Talk to you soon.